Every morning offers something that cannot be bought, borrowed, or replaced. It offers a fresh beginning. Before the demands of the day begin, before distractions compete for your attention, and before the opinions of other people enter your mind, there is a small window of time that belongs entirely to you. What you do during those first few minutes has the power to shape everything that follows. Most people underestimate this moment. They rush into the day without intention, allowing stress, fear, and uncertainty to take control before they have even taken control of themselves. They wake up thinking about unfinished work, financial pressure, mistakes from yesterday, or challenges waiting ahead. Without realizing it, they give their mind a negative direction before the day has truly begun. The mind is incredibly powerful, but it is also incredibly obedient. It listens carefully to the words repeated every day. It believes what it hears most often. If you constantly tell yourself that life is unfair, your mind begins searching for proof that it is. If you repeatedly tell yourself that success is impossible, your brain starts noticing every obstacle while ignoring every opportunity. Eventually, those repeated thoughts become beliefs. Those beliefs become habits, and those habits quietly shape the direction of your entire life. This is why the first conversation you have each morning matters more than almost anything else. Long before you speak to another person, you are already speaking to yourself. Those silent conversations influence your confidence, your emotions, your decisions, and your willingness to take action. They either prepare you to face challenges with strength or convince you to surrender before the day even begins. Many people spend years searching for success while ignoring the place where success actually begins. They look for better jobs, better circumstances, better connections, or better timing. Yet they continue carrying the same mindset into every new opportunity. A different environment cannot create a different future if the thinking remains exactly the same. Real transformation always begins inside the mind before it appears in the outside world. Every successful achievement was once only a decision inside someone's mind. Every meaningful change started with a different way of thinking. Before confidence became visible, it first existed as a quiet belief. Before discipline became a daily habit, it first appeared as a simple promise. Before success became reality, it first lived in words repeated with conviction. Your brain is designed to adapt to whatever you feed it consistently. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to build new pathways through repeated thoughts and repeated actions. This means your current mindset is not permanent. It can be strengthened. It can be redirected. It can be rebuilt. Every morning becomes another opportunity to teach your mind how to think, instead of allowing fear and doubt to decide for you. Imagine beginning each day with purpose instead of panic. Imagine opening your eyes with determination instead of hesitation. Imagine training your mind to focus on possibilities before problems, on growth before comfort, and on discipline before excuses. That simple shift changes how you react to setbacks, how you approach opportunities, and how you see yourself when challenges appear. The circumstances around you may not change overnight, but the person responding to those circumstances certainly can. The greatest battles in life are rarely fought in public. They happen quietly inside the mind. They happen in the moments when nobody else is watching. Every morning, two voices compete for your attention. One voice reminds you of every failure, every disappointment, and every reason to give up. The other reminds you that today is another chance to grow, another chance to improve, and another chance to become stronger than yesterday. The voice that becomes louder is the one you choose to repeat. That is why the words you say every morning are far more than positive thinking. They are daily instructions for your mind. They become the foundation of your attitude and the blueprint for your actions. They remind you that your future is not determined by yesterday's mistakes, but by today's choices. They teach you to stop living as a victim of circumstances and start living as the creator of your direction. In the next few moments, 5 simple sentences will become the focus of this journey. They are not complicated. They require no special talent, no expensive tools, and no perfect conditions. Their power lies in consistency. Spoken every morning with honesty and backed by daily action, They begin reshaping the way you think, the way you respond, and ultimately the way you live. These 5 sentences are not magical shortcuts. They will not remove every obstacle from your path. They will not guarantee an easy life. What they will do is something far more valuable. They will strengthen the person facing those obstacles. They will help build resilience where fear once existed, discipline where excuses once lived, and confidence where doubt used to grow. Everything begins with a single decision. The decision to take ownership of your thoughts before the world influences them. The decision to fill your mind with strength before negativity has a chance to enter. The decision to start each morning as the architect of your future instead of the prisoner of your past. 5 sentences. A few intentional moments every morning. A lifetime of transformation waiting to unfold, one sunrise at a time. The first sentence is simple, yet it carries the power to change the direction of an entire life. I am responsible for my life. These words are not about carrying guilt for everything that has happened. They are about reclaiming the power that has always belonged to you. There is a significant difference between blame and responsibility. Blame looks backward and searches for someone to accuse. Responsibility looks forward and asks, what can I do now? One keeps a person trapped in the past. The other opens the door to a better future. Many people spend years waiting for something outside themselves to change. They wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect timing, the perfect job, or the perfect circumstances. They convince themselves that success will begin once life becomes easier. But life has never promised perfect conditions. The people who achieve extraordinary things are not the ones who waited for ideal moments. They are the ones who decided to move forward despite imperfect conditions. The moment you accept responsibility, something remarkable happens. Excuses begin to lose their power. Complaints become less important. Energy that was once wasted blaming circumstances is redirected toward creating solutions. Instead of asking why life is unfair, the question becomes, what is my next step? That single shift changes everything. Responsibility is the foundation of confidence. Every promise you keep to yourself strengthens it. Every commitment you honor adds another layer of self-respect. Confidence is not built by hearing encouraging words from others. It grows when you consistently prove to yourself that your actions match your intentions. This sentence also reminds you that your future is being created today, not someday. Every choice matters. Every habit matters. Every hour matters. The books you read, the conversations you have, the skills you develop, and the discipline you practice are quietly shaping the person you will become. Whether you notice it or not, your daily decisions are writing the story of your future. No one else can wake up with your determination. No one else can build your discipline. No one else can think your thoughts or make your choices. Others may inspire you, encourage you, or guide you, but they cannot live your life for you. That responsibility belongs to you alone, and that is not a burden. It is freedom. Once you fully accept this truth, every morning becomes an opportunity instead of an obligation. You stop hoping that tomorrow will be different, and you begin making today different. You understand that success is not something that suddenly appears. It is something that is built through intentional choices repeated every single day. The second sentence naturally follows the first. Today I will improve. Notice what these words do not say. They do not say, today I will be perfect. They do not demand impossible standards or instant transformation. They simply ask for progress. Improvement is achievable every day, regardless of where you are starting. Perfection often creates fear. It convinces people that if they cannot do everything flawlessly, they should not begin at all. Improvement creates momentum. It allows you to celebrate growth instead of obsessing over mistakes. It teaches you that becoming better is more important than appearing perfect. Every successful achievement is built on small improvements that seem insignificant at first. A single page read each day becomes dozens of books over time. A short period of focused practice becomes valuable expertise. One healthier decision repeated consistently transforms an entire lifestyle. Small actions rarely receive attention in the moment, Yet they quietly produce extraordinary results over months and years. Growth is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is almost invisible. There will be days when progress feels slow. There will be mornings when it seems as though nothing is changing. But nature itself teaches an important lesson. A tree does not become tall overnight. It grows little by little, day after day, until one day its strength becomes impossible to ignore. Human growth follows the same principle. Consistency accomplishes what intensity alone never can. Improvement also changes the way you see failure. Instead of viewing mistakes as proof that you are not capable, you begin seeing them as lessons that make you stronger. Every setback becomes information. Every challenge becomes training. Every obstacle becomes another opportunity to develop patience, wisdom, and resilience. When improvement becomes your daily goal, comparison begins to lose its influence. You stop measuring your journey against someone else's success. You stop feeling discouraged because another person seems further ahead. Your only comparison becomes the person you were yesterday. That is the only competition that truly matters. Imagine ending each day knowing you became just 1% better. 1% may sound small, but repeated consistently, it creates remarkable change. Small improvements accumulate. They build confidence, sharpen character, and strengthen discipline until success is no longer an accident but an expected outcome. Each morning, repeat these two powerful sentences with complete conviction. I am responsible for my life. Today, I will improve. One reminds you to take ownership of your future. The other reminds you that greatness is built through steady progress, not overnight miracles. Together, they create a mindset that refuses to make excuses, refuses to remain stagnant, and refuses to settle for less than its full potential. The future you dream about is not created by one extraordinary day. It is created by ordinary days filled with extraordinary commitment. Every sunrise gives you another chance to choose responsibility, another chance to pursue improvement, and another chance to move one step closer to the life you were meant to live. The third sentence has the power to silence one of the greatest enemies of success. I choose courage over fear. Fear is a natural part of being human. It appears whenever you step towards something meaningful. It whispers that you are not ready, not experienced enough, not talented enough, or not capable enough. It tells you to wait for the perfect moment, to stay where everything feels familiar, and to avoid the possibility of failure. At first, that voice sounds convincing because it promises safety. But over time, safety without growth becomes another form of limitation. Think about how many dreams disappear before they ever have the chance to become reality. Not because they were impossible, but because fear convinced people to stop before they even began. The greatest opportunities are often missed long before failure has the chance to occur. They are lost in hesitation, self-doubt, and endless preparation without action. This is why the sentence begins with one powerful word: choose. Courage is not something reserved for a select few. It is not a personality trait that only certain people possess. Courage is a decision. It is the choice to move forward, even when certainty does not exist. It is the willingness to take one more step despite hearing the voice of fear. The presence of fear does not mean you are weak. It often means you are standing at the edge of growth. Many people believe confidence comes first and action follows. Life teaches the opposite. Confidence is built by action. Every difficult decision you make, every challenge you face, and every obstacle you overcome becomes evidence that you are stronger than you once believed. Confidence grows because courage acted before certainty arrived. Every achievement begins with someone deciding to take the first step without knowing exactly how everything will unfold. Progress has never required perfect clarity. It only requires enough courage to begin. One decision leads to another. One action creates another opportunity. One small victory builds the strength for the next challenge. Fear also has a habit of exaggerating the cost of action while hiding the cost of inaction. It convinces people that failure would be unbearable, yet it rarely reminds them how painful regret can become. Years pass quickly, and many discover that the greatest disappointment was not making mistakes, It was never giving themselves the chance to discover what they were capable of achieving. Every morning, when you repeat the words, "I choose courage over fear," you are making a commitment to yourself. You are deciding that fear will no longer be the author of your future. You are reminding your mind that growth always requires stepping into unfamiliar territory. You are choosing progress over comfort and possibility over limitation. The fourth sentence builds naturally on that decision. I attract opportunities through action. Many people spend years waiting for opportunity to knock on their door. They hope the perfect chance will suddenly appear, changing everything overnight. But opportunity rarely works that way. More often than not, it is created by people who refuse to remain still. Action has a remarkable way of opening doors that hesitation never can. Every new skill you learn increases your value. Every book you read expands your perspective. Every disciplined habit strengthens your character. Every conversation you have, every lesson you embrace, and every challenge you overcome creates possibilities that did not exist before. Success is rarely the result of one dramatic moment. It is usually the reward for hundreds of ordinary actions repeated with extraordinary consistency. While others are waiting for the right conditions, those who take action are quietly preparing themselves for the opportunities that eventually arrive. Movement creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates even greater action. This cycle continues until progress becomes a natural part of your identity. The opposite is also true. Waiting creates hesitation. Hesitation creates doubt. Doubt creates more waiting. Before long, months or even years can disappear without meaningful progress. Action does not guarantee immediate success, but it always guarantees growth. Every attempt teaches something valuable. Every setback provides experience. Every obstacle develops resilience. Even when the results are not immediate, the person taking action is becoming wiser, stronger, and more prepared for future opportunities. It is important to understand that opportunities are not always obvious. Sometimes they appear disguised as hard work. Sometimes they arrive in the form of responsibility, challenge, or unexpected change. Those who have trained themselves to act are far more likely to recognize these moments and transform them into success. This sentence is also a reminder that luck often favors preparation. People may describe someone as fortunate, but behind every visible success are countless hours of unseen effort. Preparation creates confidence because preparation removes uncertainty. The more you improve yourself, the more ready you become when opportunities finally appear. Every morning, repeat these words with complete belief. I choose courage over fear. I attract opportunities through action. One sentence reminds you that fear should never decide your future. The other reminds you that your future is built by what you do, not by what you wish would happen. Together, they create a mindset that refuses to remain trapped by hesitation. They inspire movement instead of excuses, determination instead of doubt, and consistent action instead of endless waiting. Success is rarely found by those who stand still. It is discovered by those who have the courage to take the next step, even when they cannot yet see the entire path. Every action plants a seed. Every courageous decision strengthens your character. And with enough consistent action, those small seeds eventually grow into a life that once seemed impossible. Hashtag. The fifth and final sentence is the one that holds everything together. Without it, the other four lose their strength over time. It is the promise that carries you through the days when motivation fades, when progress feels invisible, and when the journey becomes harder than expected. I will never quit on myself. These 7 words are more than a morning affirmation. They are a lifelong commitment. They are a declaration that no matter how difficult the road becomes, you will continue moving forward. They remind you that the greatest victory is not avoiding failure. The greatest victory is refusing to let failure become the end of your story. Every meaningful goal will test your patience. There will be mornings when enthusiasm is nowhere to be found. There will be moments when the results you hoped for seem painfully distant. You may work harder than ever and still feel as though nothing is changing. In those moments, the easiest choice is to stop. The easiest choice is to believe that your efforts are meaningless. But those moments are often where the strongest people are created. The truth is that success rarely happens as quickly as people imagine. It is built slowly, quietly, and consistently. Most of the transformation happens long before anyone else can see it. Just as a seed spends weeks growing beneath the soil before breaking through the surface, personal growth often takes place where no one is watching. The roots must grow deep before the tree can grow tall. Many people give up because they mistake a lack of visible results for a lack of progress. They assume that because they cannot immediately see change, nothing is happening. But every disciplined decision is shaping your future. Every early morning, every hour of focused effort, every challenge you overcome is strengthening your character in ways that are not always visible today. Growth is happening even when it feels slow. Life will never be free from obstacles. There will always be unexpected setbacks, disappointments, and moments of uncertainty. Plans may not unfold the way you expected. Opportunities may take longer to appear. People may doubt your vision or misunderstand your purpose. Circumstances may force you to change direction. None of these experiences mean that you have failed. They simply mean that you are living a life that requires resilience. Resilience is not the ability to avoid hardship. It is the ability to keep moving despite hardship. It is choosing hope when frustration feels easier. It is choosing discipline when comfort calls your name. It is choosing persistence when quitting seems like the simplest solution. The strongest people are not those who never struggle. They are those who refuse to let struggle define them. When you say, "I will never quit on myself," you are making one of the most important promises you will ever make. You are telling yourself that your dreams deserve your patience. You are reminding yourself that temporary disappointment does not erase permanent potential. You are deciding that no mistake, no failure, and no difficult season will have the final word over your future. There is something incredibly powerful about keeping promises to yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment, your self-respect grows. Every time you refuse to give up, you strengthen your confidence. Confidence is not built because life becomes easier. Confidence is built because you prove to yourself that you can continue even when life becomes difficult. Persistence has a remarkable effect over time. While others stop after facing a few setbacks, those who remain committed continue learning, improving, and adapting. Eventually, the gap between those who quit and those who continue becomes impossible to ignore. Success often belongs to the person who simply stayed in the race long enough to grow into it. Remember that every accomplished individual has faced moments of doubt. Every meaningful achievement has been preceded by seasons of uncertainty. The difference is not that successful people never wanted to quit. The difference is that they made a decision not to. They understood that temporary emotions should never determine permanent decisions. Each new morning is another opportunity to renew that commitment. It is another chance to rise stronger than yesterday, wiser than yesterday, and more determined than yesterday. You do not need to have everything figured out. You only need to take the next step with faith in your ability to keep going. So begin every day by repeating this promise with complete conviction. I will never quit on myself. Let those words become part of your identity. Let them guide your choices when the road becomes difficult. Let them remind you that your greatest strength is not talent, luck, or perfect circumstances. Your greatest strength is your decision to continue when others would stop. Because the people who change their lives are not always the fastest. They are not always the smartest. They are not always the most gifted. More often than not, they are simply the ones who refuse to give up on themselves. And when you make that same promise every single morning, you are no longer hoping for success. You are becoming the kind of person who is prepared to earn it. Hashtag. Tomorrow morning, before the world asks anything of you, make one decision that can change the direction of your life. Before reaching for your phone, before reading the news, before scrolling through social media, and before allowing other people's opinions to fill your mind, take a few quiet moments for yourself. Those first moments of the day are more valuable than they appear. They set the emotional tone for everything that follows. They determine whether you begin the day with purpose or with distraction, with confidence or with doubt. Stand tall. Take a slow, deep breath. Clear your mind of yesterday's disappointments and tomorrow's worries. Remind yourself that this new day is a fresh opportunity. Yesterday has already done its work. The future has not yet arrived. The only moment you truly have is the one in front of you, and what you choose to do with it will shape the person you become. Now repeat these 5 sentences, not as empty words, but as promises you intend to keep. I am responsible for my life. Let these words remind you that your future is built by your choices, not by your excuses. Every decision you make today is another brick in the foundation of the life you are creating. Take ownership of your thoughts, your habits, and your actions, because responsibility is where real freedom begins. Today, I will improve. You do not have to become extraordinary overnight. You only need to become a little better than you were yesterday. Small improvements may seem insignificant in the moment, but repeated every single day, they create remarkable transformation. Progress is always more powerful than perfection. I choose courage over fear. Fear will always try to convince you to stay where it feels safe. Courage reminds you that everything worth achieving requires movement. Every goal, every dream, and every meaningful accomplishment begins with one brave decision. Let courage become stronger than your doubts. I attract opportunities through action. Do not wait for life to hand you success. Prepare yourself for it. Learn, grow, work, improve, and keep moving forward. Opportunities often appear to those who are already in motion. Every action you take today becomes an investment in the future you are building. I will never quit on myself. This is your promise. No matter how difficult the journey becomes, no matter how many setbacks you experience, and no matter how long success seems to take, you will keep going. You will continue learning. You will continue growing. You will continue believing in the person you are becoming. These 5 sentences are simple, but their impact grows through consistency. Saying them once may inspire you for a few moments. Saying them every morning can gradually transform the way you think, the way you respond, and the way you live. They become part of your identity. They shape your decisions when nobody is watching. They guide you when motivation disappears and discipline becomes your greatest strength. Never underestimate the power of repeated thoughts. The words you feed your mind become the beliefs you carry in your heart. Those beliefs influence your choices. Your choices create your habits. Your habits determine your future. Everything begins with what you consistently tell yourself. Imagine where you could be 1 year from now if you started every day with intention instead of distraction. Imagine how much stronger your confidence would become if you kept these promises every single morning. Imagine how many obstacles you could overcome if you stopped doubting yourself and started trusting the process. The life you dream about is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built through thousands of ordinary mornings where you choose discipline over comfort, purpose over procrastination, and faith over fear. Do not wait for a special date to begin. Do not tell yourself that next week or next month will be a better time. The best time to change your life has always been the present moment. Every sunrise is an invitation to become a better version of yourself, but only if you choose to accept it. If this message inspired you, do not let the inspiration fade after this video ends. Turn these words into action. Write these 5 sentences on a piece of paper and place them somewhere you will see every morning. Read them aloud, believe them, live them. Allow them to shape the way you think and the way you approach every challenge that comes your way. And if you found value in this message, take one more step. Support this journey by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with someone who needs encouragement to keep moving forward. A single message can inspire a new habit, and one new habit can completely transform a life. Together, let's build a community of people who choose discipline over excuses, growth over comfort, and persistence over giving up. Remember this as you begin each new day. Success does not belong only to the most talented. It does not belong only to the luckiest. It belongs to those who refuse to stop growing, refuse to stop believing, and refuse to stop moving forward. Tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, do not begin with doubt. Begin with these 5 powerful sentences. Repeat them with conviction. Live them with consistency. And watch how, one day at a time, success begins to follow the person you are becoming.